Honorable Skhosana and Honorable Shongwe, the two of you, when you are done, we are going to break. So in case honorable members may want to see themselves in and out, you can just do that discreetly. Thank you so much. Honorable Skhosana and Honorable Shongwe, I'm handing over to you.
Sorry, Chair.
No, before senior counsel wanted to say something.
Thank you, Honorable Chair. No, it was at the time when I think he was looking for some assistance on the dockets, and I was going to just point out perhaps which annexes he might want to refer to, but it seems we've passed that now. Thank you.
Chair, thank you. Just a quick one before Honorable starts. Are we sharing the time, or you're going to cap us in terms of 10 minutes of an alt, or taking is 20, or is it one time?
Your time is 40 minutes.
Okay.
It's 30 minutes for the full member, and
okay. Can you please advise us when
you must not even ask about your time, because it's the discretion of the chair.
I won't fight you today, but kindly when it's 30, please tell us so that I won't be told if he has.
I have said that when you see the microphone upright, you must know that your time has petered out.
Thank you, Chair.
General Sibiya.
Chair, I want to ask a question in relation to the Honorable Member Skhosana, that because he's a complainant in my case, and this is the person I'm going to sit with at some point, stand against in court, because he's a complainant, and him using this platform now to solicit answers from me that I'm going to have to defend before court, to me, it's a very serious concern. This is the member that I feel is working with General Mkhwanazi, because the statement that was used by the General Mkhwanazi's team to go and open a case, his name is there. Now I must stand before the same member to cross-examine or to ask me questions. Now I'm raising a concern.
Yeah.
If I can be protected.
I'm going to protect you in this way. You are raising a legitimate concern, and then we may not even be seen trampling on your rights. What I will advise you to do, because I explained to you yesterday that sitting here as the committee, we do not have any power to decide on how we are composed. So to protect your rights, I will advise you to decide if you want to respond to the question or not. If a question is asked to you, you can decide if you want to respond to it or not.
And if I say I don't want to respond to his questions?
No. We have to follow the process. You can't say, I don't want to respond to your questions. We must allow him to ask the questions. And then if you say, I reserve my right to comment, then it's okay.
Okay.
Thank you, Chair. I think, Chair, there's a portal, Chair. Sitting in front of us is Honorable Skhosana, who was sent by Umkhonto Wesizwe. Umkhonto Wesizwe is the one that opened the case. Now, let me remind you quickly, Chair. At one stage, South African says Parliament did nothing when Honorable General Mkhwanazi came to Parliament on this matter. So Umkhonto Wesizwe took an initiative before, at the same time when Honorable General Mkhwanazi spoke about this matter and opened a case. It is Umkhonto Wesizwe, not Honorable Skhosana. It can be in a case where General Sibiya will be sitting with somebody else in court, not Skhosana. sent by Mkhonto Wesizwe. So I think the clarification is pure and clear, Chair, that he must answer questions. And when you say he must not answer questions, sorry, Chair, when you say he must not answer, you can decide on which questions to answer or not. He can say from number 1 to 30, no, I don't want to answer. No, I don't want to answer. Where are we going to do that?
No, I'm not saying that he must not answer.
No, Chair, you are saying that he must decide if he wants to answer or not. So if from number 1 to 100, he decides, okay, he's going to waste our time and say, he asks a question and then he says, no, I don't want to answer. No, I do not. Until number 100, what is that? Is it not the same as Uguti? You have instructed or somehow gave him an option not to answer. So I think this is separated from court. This is parliament. He must answer to parliament. Here is answering to a parliamentarian who's sent by South Africans, not a person who opened the case sent by Mkhonto Wesizwe. Two matters are separate, I think. Thank you.
Honorable Nomvalo.
Chairperson, thank you very much. My apologies. When the matter was raised, I was responding to a nature call. I'm actually surprised that the matter has been raised by a witness because if my memory serves me well, the position that we took yesterday in relation to this matter is that there will be a legal advice from the office of the Speaker. But before that, a member, Andile, from the technical team, made an indication that as far as the applicable law is concerned, there is no crisis here. Honorable Skhosana can continue to participate in a meeting. And that decision was communicated to the witness, Chair. I remember you conveying, and you even made a reference to the terms of reference. The witness said, it's fine, Chair, if that is a position, I will continue. But please note that I had a protest. Those were his reply. For him to come and raise the same issue here, even when it was better clarified yesterday, I think it is undesirable, Chairperson. We had a position on this matter. If there's anything that is outstanding, is a legal advice from the office of the Speaker. If still the committee members are not satisfied with a response that was given by Andile, we also even said, as the MK party, if there is a legal advice coming from the office of the Speaker, we will also consult our own senior counsel in this regard to ensure that there is a strike of balance and we are satisfied with what has been communicated to us as a legal position. So I really understand maybe the witness has forgotten, but my memory reminds me that this is a position that we agreed upon yesterday.
Honorable Matthys.
Thank you, Chair, for recognizing me after. Okay, just a few things, Chair. I think we are keep regressing on this matter, right? So we have gotten an opinion from our parliament lawyers, and not just on these matters, but when we were discussing recusal on a lot of different members. It's clear, number one, Chair, that there's no independent member of parliament in South Africa. We are political party democracy. The things that we do it on behalf of our political party. The next thing we're going to have here is that we're going to be told when Cyril Ramaphosa appears here that the EFF or the Commander-in-Chief must recuse himself because we've got a case against him in the Constitutional Court. That's where we are heading. Further, Chair, even if any of these members from their political parties, we as a committee take a decision, which we don't have the power to do, both within our terms of reference and within the rules of parliament, because the rules don't cover the issue of recusal, right? We political party members. Nothing stops the other member from the same party or the party of holding that position. So I can recuse myself because I've opened a case on behalf of a party. That doesn't mean that Honorable Malema, we don't have the same position, and when he comes here, he presents the same thing. The same thing, Honorable Skhosana, even if he makes a decision to recuse himself, it doesn't stop his other members from asking exactly the same questions. So I think we are really wasting our time, and we just need to move. I don't even think we need to have a legal opinion about this. It's very, very clear. There's nothing in both our rules of parliament and both in this ad hoc committee that says that members or gives us as the committee or even as parliament for any members to recuse themselves unless they've gone through some ethics process or powers and privileges process. And none of us have done that. Thank you, Chair.
Is there any other honorable member who wants to speak on this matter? Okay. Look, the witness yesterday raised a matter on the participation of Honorable Skhosana in the proceedings. And we, members are right, we explained to General Sibiya that in terms of the rules that we have, we are unable to eject any member from this committee. What we can do is just to bring that matter to the attention of the Speaker of Parliament. That is what the rules empower us. So the matter which General Sibiya raises is different from participation in the committee. He is saying in the records that you have in the courts and the police, the complainant is Honorable Skhosana. And so do you allow him to ask me questions? And I respond. And where I'm sitting as the chairperson, I can't prescribe how the questions must be answered. I can't force the witness to say, you are going to answer in this way. And that is why I say, if Honorable Skhosana is going to ask questions, let's allow him to ask the questions that he has and hear what the responses of the witness are. If the witness says no comment, that is a response. It's a response. Because we must not run these proceedings in such a way that we become unfair to a member of parliament, or we also become unfair to the witness. And if you remember, I have been emphasizing this point that the Constitution of the Republic of South Africa is written in the name of the citizens of this country. That's how it is written. It's in the name of the citizens. So when General Sibiya appears before us as a committee of parliament, he does not forfeit his status as a citizen of this country. And the honorable member as well is a citizen. I think what the honorable members from the MKP, if they feel that there may be a problem, they may decide to ask the same questions through another honorable member. But I mean, you are going to put the chair in a very difficult position if every time a question has been asked, especially that when we started the proceedings, General Sibiya put it on record here and said, you must know that I'm getting into these proceedings under protest. It's not something that he's raising now. So can I get indication from you, honorable members from the MKP, if you want to proceed, Honorable Skhosana, to ask or you pass your questions to?
Thank you, Chair. It will depend on the response from the witness. If the question which I have, as you said, if you say no comment, I'm going to leave those questions. There's a lot of questions besides that, but I just want to say here, Chair, before you allocate me the minutes, I don't want us to mislead the nation and the members, honorable members, that I am talking to General Mkhwanazi. That statement alone is misleading. I sit in the South African Police Service Portfolio Committee. Dealing with South African Police Service. I sit in the Police Portfolio Committee. I deal with everyone across the board, from the minister to the top management of South African Police Service, and to the ordinary member, a complainant on the ground.
Yeah.
So it can't be right to say, maybe I'm a friend, maybe no, I'm not a friend.
You are raising
I'm at work.
You are raising a valid point, Honorable Skhosana, and let's get Honorable Sibiya to withdraw that part that says you opened a case because you are talking to General Mkhwanazi.
Order, Chair. Can I raise a point of order? Chair, I don't think it would be correct for you to direct a witness how to answer or what he must do. He's made the point, and I think you rather want to ask him if he wants to withdraw it. Because now it looks like you are saying to General Sibiya, withdraw that. So maybe you want to ask whether he thinks he wants to withdraw it. Thank you, Chair.
Okay. General Sibiya, when you made a statement how you feel about Honorable Skhosana asking you questions, you made an additional statement apart from the protest that you registered with us. You made an additional statement that goes to say he opened the case because he talks to General Mkhwanazi. Do you stand by that statement? I think it's what the honorable member is asking me to check with you.
Yeah, I stand by the statement for simple reasons. The fact that the honorable member went and opened a case, and then the next thing, the details of the case and the statement and everything is what the investigating officer of the case is using in applying for a search warrant. As far as I'm concerned, there has been communication. And I'm not doing it to disrespect the House. If ever, in one or another, it gets to a point where I'm regarded of being out of order, I really apologize and I would withdraw if that is the case. But if I'm not wrong, may I be allowed to still stand to that statement? Because remember, Chair, that there have been marches against me as well from the MK party. And it's the same MK party that opens a case against me. And the MK party, it was in support of General Mkhwanazi. The march was saying in support of General Mkhwanazi. And then now, again, the MK party opened a case against me. And now I'm standing before an honorable member and who's now must ask questions from me. And these are the questions of which the honorable member statement or what he was mentioned in the papers that conducted the search and seizure at my house. So to me, Chair, is deeply involved in this whole thing that is going on, unfair thing that is going on against me. So I feel that here I'm standing in front of.
I think the part that Honorable Sangoni wanted to hear is not the motivation for why you think it will be unfair for him to ask you questions. Is whether you stand by the part that says he talks to General Mkhwanazi.
I stand by that, Chair.
Okay. Do you want to continue, Honorable Skhosana?
Oh yes, I want to continue, Chair.
Before you continue, let me hear Honorable Sols.
Chair,
this very thing that's happening now is what that concept wanted to avoid. That if someone is in conflict, because now we are discussing a case that's not part of this process, but it was exactly to avoid that. But my question of clarity on a matter of procedure, I asked it yesterday, but it wasn't responded to after the parliamentary legal advisor gave the legal opinion on the matter. So I just want to have a clear understanding. The advice was, or it sounded like it was, that honorable members on the committee is not required to be impartial. So just for procedure, not specifically for this matter, but in general, are we not required to be impartial? Thank you.
Okay. Look, we must move forward. Don't ask the chair the questions that he does not have answers. Let me tell you, honorable members.
Chair, can I just say, sorry?
Yeah.
I'm not asking you specifically.
Yeah, let me tell you how this thing is. The rules that we have say that any matter which we may pick up must be brought to the attention of the Speaker of Parliament. And sitting like this as a committee of Parliament, I have said that we don't have any authority, neither of us. I can't instruct Honorable Skhosana out of this meeting. Neither can I instruct any other member of the committee. I don't have those powers. It will be arbitrary if we want to try and do. We find ourselves in a situation like this, a situation which we do not know how to extricate ourselves unless the Speaker gives a directive. And remember, as a chair of the committee, I can't write to the Speaker of Parliament without your consent. That's why there is a need for a committee meeting first and say, we now write to the Speaker of Parliament, we tell her that this is what is happening. General Sibiya was here before us. He registered a protest in the proceedings as the Speaker of Parliament because the rules say we must report the matter to you. We reported the matter to you, and then we will wait to hear from you how we must proceed. For now, to save these proceedings, let's allow the honorable members to ask questions to General Sibiya. May I finish? Honorable Sols. Yeah, your hand can go down. I'm going to allow you a chance to speak. We allow the honorable members to ask General Sibiya questions, and General Sibiya will respond. Yeah. And if you are not happy with any response that he gives, you can raise your hand and say, but is there anything that you may want to say, General Sibiya? And then he will tell you, yes, I have more that I can say, or I have nothing more to say. Honorable Sols.
Yes, Chair. I'm asking on a matter of procedure for how we're going to move forward, because the honorable member from the MKP based his response on the advice given by the parliamentary legal advisor. And that advice was that we are not required to be impartial. So apart from this here, I want to know procedurally as we go forward, is it true or correct that we are not expected to be impartial for procedure? Then
it's not for me to rule on that matter. The Speaker of Parliament, the office of the Speaker of Parliament, is the one that will respond to matters like this. That is why
then, Chair, you should say
I want to plead with honorable members that the situation that we face is our situation. It's not the situation of the chairperson of the committee. The rules of this house say take all these matters and elevate them to the office of the speaker. And in terms, your terms of reference, honorable members, are saying that you are the ones who take decisions on any matter. So the chair will wait for that moment when you have taken a decision as an ad hoc committee that a letter has to be written to the speaker to inform her office about these developments. And so for now, I'm going to request that we proceed. I'm requesting you, honorable members, that we proceed.
So for clarity, Chair, that means for now, we should not base any of our actions on that advice until we hear from the speaker. Is that what we're saying? We are ignoring the advice.
The committee must hear what the Speaker of Parliament is saying. Your rules say bring the matter to the attention of the Speaker. That must be the understanding. Honorable Sangwen.
Thank you, Honorable Chair. And please, my intention is not to derail the proceedings, but I just wanted to say that in terms of the legal advice, the legal advice, yes, that we had received yesterday, as well as the legal opinion that we had asked for tomorrow. Personally, I mean, this is not a party position, but personally, I had been convinced by the arguments of Umkhonto weSizwe Party. For example, I don't believe that impartiality is a precondition for rationality and so forth. But the point that I was trying to go to, Chair, is can we request that when we get the legal opinion, the written legal opinion tomorrow, the matter that now arises in this meeting, which we didn't have before, where the witness himself says that he feels prejudice. Do we have any precedent of such a matter in Parliament, and how has it been handled? I'm worried that this testimony may get a bit difficult because now General Sibiya is going to cast aspersions on the member and so forth and so forth. So where we have a situation where a person or a witness appearing before Parliament has said, I do not want to be engaged by this person, I feel my rights are prejudiced. How do we handle it? I'm not disagreeing with what the chair is saying. Let's proceed if General Sibiya has agreed that we proceed, but I do want a reflection in the legal opinion on what his rights are. Thank you very much, Chair.
Okay. Honorable Nombalo.
Chair, I just want to make a kind plea to you as the chairperson of the meeting. As the MK party, we request to be protected in this meeting. The witness has made serious allegations against the MK party. We made it on record that it's the MK party that opened the case against General Sibiya. It's impossible for 58 members to go to a police station and open one docket and be complainants, all of them. Skhosana was delegated by the MK party. Now, General Sibiya, in his attempts to subvert the MK party, says the case was opened because Skhosana is in communication with General Nhlanhla Mkhwanazi. We're not taking that lightly because the case, I think I said it 10 times yesterday, that the case was never opened by Skhosana. Skhosana was a messenger. Now, as the MK party were being insulted here, that the reason why we opened that case is because of a relationship with Skhosana and General Nhlanhla Mkhwanazi. We opened that case because a press briefing was made, and that doesn't mean that we're in support of General Nhlanhla Mkhwanazi. We believe that the allegations that he made need to be investigated by a police officer, and it ends there. For him to come and cast aspersions here, Chair, and you are not protecting us, really is uncalled for. He must not do that in future. You have a responsibility to protect both us as members and the witness, Chairperson. Thank you very much. I just wanted to register that.
And remember, I have exercised that responsibility. I called the general to withdraw that statement. And your fellow member from the African National Congress said, may I check with the general if you remember, honorable members, that I called on the general to withdraw. And a fellow member of this committee said, no, check with him if he stands by that statement. And he says, look, I'm not withdrawing. You say you're not withdrawing. That is your view.
This is how I feel, Chair.
Okay. So, members, let's do this. Let's proceed. Let's ask General Sibiya questions and hear what his responses are.
Thank you, Chair. Chair, I just want to say this is not personal. This is not personal. I haven't instructed any policeman to go and confiscate your gadgets of General Sibiya or any other thing. Once you open a case, it ends there. I don't know. I'm not an investigator. I'm not a policeman. I don't know what happened. Whatever happened, I guess they were doing their work like us here. And we cannot afford to say that the witness, because it will be a contempt of court if the witness choose not to account to Parliament. But I'll start by saying to the Deputy Commissioner, General Sibiya. General, last night you said that there was no reluctance on the road to take in terms of the disbanding of the PKTT during the Portfolio Committee meeting, which we had here, if you remember, because we have meetings with you and with the top management of South African Police Service, regularly so. Now, can you confirm if the presentation by Lieutenant General Khumalo on that day, which you said it was endorsed by the National Commissioner, as presented in Parliament on the 5th of March, recommended a phase or an immediate disbandment of the PKTT?
It recommended a phase-out approach.
Now, the issue of immediate, which yesterday was an issue, why then immediate was immediate?
As I explained yesterday, Chair, that when we say immediate, we were saying the process must start immediately. And when we say the process must start immediately, it means from today, start the process of disbanding. From now, you can start immediately. And this, even as you can see, is consistent with what is said in that statement, in that document of the 17th of January, to say stakeholder must be engaged, internal and external must be engaged, this must happen. And now it gave a roadmap of what was supposed to happen, which means everything was going to happen according to the roadmap. Up until the next morning on the 6th, when they gave an action plan themselves and said, in winding down, this is what we are going to do.
Clarity on this will help to confirm the National Commissioner position, because in your statement, it appears to indicate that the National Commissioner did not express any reservation regarding the decision to disband the PKTT. It suggests that he took part in several meetings related to the process, and at no point did he or he voice any objection or concern about how the disbandment would be handled. Do you agree with that?
Don't. Because, honorable members, you will remember that even at the Madlanga Commission, the National Commissioner admitted that, no, he did not object. And they asked him whether, can you carry out any unlawful instructions? He said it was career limiting. So the bottom line is that they never, at no stage, the National Commissioner ever objected openly so. In my case, with all the documents, from my corner, everything that I was implementing, the documents that I received from the Office of the National Commissioner were saying, do it this way. And then whatever that he says, come from him. It's not in writing in any way. To me, directed to me at least.
Unfortunately, I said in this committee that we are not a subcommittee of Mazanga Commission, so I don't follow it. For me, we are fresh. You know, all the questions which I'm posing to you are very fresh. You know, it's not like I'm undermining anyone, but I just want to put it clear. General, according to you, then, I'm quoting verbatim the presentation from the particular meeting, our meeting on the 5th of March. What was meant by the de-establishment or disbandment, which will take any form of transition from the PKTT to a component, to that component which you spoke about, of serious and violent crime within the division, detective, and forensic services. The transition will ensure continuity of cases, particularly those who are under investigation and those that are in court. The word transition appears twice in the presentation, and words have been meaning general. In your view, is it possible that something is in transition immediately?
Yes, the transition meaning that we will then take it from this team, PKTT, to murder and robbery unit. This is transition from that to this. And it will take form in a phase-out approach, meaning that the phase-out approach says the first phase will be to deliver the case dockets to the murder and robbery unit, which is the phase they started, they carried out.
Now, was it not only yourself and the chief of staff who were in favor of that?
No.
It's crucial, General, to separate separate NASCOM acceptance of disbanding the PKT from his views or the method which you thought was correct. He may have agreed to disband, am I right? Possibly under pressure, as this was an instruction from the minister. Do you agree?
No, I don't agree.
Now, yesterday you said to us here that you are an accounting officer, inverted commas.
Never said that.
No. I will remind you, General. One, you said that General Mkhwanazi undermined you as his senior. Am I right?
Yes.
Are you aware that as you said yourself, let me just give you that. Are you aware that the accounting officer in the South African Police Service nationally is NASCOM? Do you agree?
Yes.
Are you aware that he originated those powers from the statute? You cannot have that power at all. You only have delegated powers. Now, the provincial commissioner, Mkhwanazi or anyone else, Patekile, they originate their power like the national commissioner at provincial level. Do you agree?
Yes.
So why are you saying Mkhwanazi undermines you?
Like I'm saying, Honorable Chair, I think yesterday I did read out my delegation and then my functions, duties and functions as the Deputy National Commissioner and the legal framework that actually suggests what are my responsibilities. The National Commissioner, even in his own words, said there's no gap, there's no any other member between me and him. It's him, ourselves as the Deputy National Commissioners, then the divisional commissioners and provincial commissioners under us. So in other words, I'm a Deputy National Commissioner. I'm accountable to the National Commissioner, but the provincial commissioners and any other, they are below the Deputy National Commissioners.
Let me repeat again. So are you saying it was is correct for you to say you can come to Mpumalanga You are senior when you come to Mpumalanga to the provincial co-commissioner.
I am.
In terms of powers, hence I'm asking you as a deputy commissioner, that the provincial commissioner, his powers comes from the state. He's an accounting officer at provincial level. Do you agree on that?
I do.
Now, when you come to the province, are you usurping, are you usurping his powers when you come to the province?
Not at all.
Yeah, hence I'm asking you, why are you saying Mkhwanazi undermines you?
He undermines me, because, I mean, we are both well-trained members from the college, from being a constable. You get trained as to the rank level structures, and you know which one is junior, which one is more senior to the other. And that is the case. That will never change.
We'll come back to that because fortunately I worked before the General. If the PKTT was effective in stabilizing political killings, then why it was necessary to disband it immediately without consulting Masemula and Mkhwanazi?
I think that's a question that you can pose, that can be posed to the minister.
What is your view as the Deputy Commissioner?
My view is that I received an instruction to disband from the National Commissioner to communicate the letter of the minister to the team.
Yeah, I just wanted to find out on that regard. You said Brigadier Litoke, if I remember.
Litoko is
Litoko, yes.
Chief of Staff in the Office of the National Commissioner.
Yeah. So he gave you a letter.
She
gave you a letter.
Sent a letter.
That letter was signed by who?
It's an email, doesn't need to be signed.
Now, in your office, you have staff in your office, am I right?
Correct.
If your staff is giving one of your divisional co-commissioner or one of the deputy, General Musikili, does your staff have those powers to send and instruct anyone?
100%.
They do have that.
They do.
Now you just said to yourself that there's hierarchy. By nature, police is paralegal, am I right?
Correct.
Now, can a brigadier instruct a general, major general or a lieutenant general?
From that office, a letter and communication that come from the higher office is an instruction of that higher office.
Now, if the NASCOM says to you, I've never given that brigadier that instruction, what would be your response? Have you verified that letter that it was coming direct from the commissioner?
Remember, the NASCOM already indicated that he told them to write letters to the Deputy National Commissioner and say, write a report. So it comes from the National Commission and it's confirmed.
Let me give you a reference. If you remember, on the PEE matters, there's an issue which is in court because some directives were given verbally. So do you agree that if somebody sends a letter which is not signed by the accounting officer, is legit?
I don't know the facts in that PPE matter. But what I have and what I know and the working system and the standard practice is that the National Commissioner, even myself, I'll come and tell the staff officer or the PA and say, I want you to write a letter to General Kumalo. The National Commissioner wants to have feedback in relation to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Please send that letter. They are well trained and they know what to write. And they will write the letter and they will send it to me or they bring it and say, are you happy with this? Then after I said yes, they will send. So in this case, even all the correspondences, you can check all the correspondence that come from General Brigadier Letoko and General Sebola. They represent the National Commissioner, and this is the standard practice in the police.
General, you've been in the police force for almost 3 decades.
Correct.
Police Act Section 5. Can you just paraphrase for us?
Section
5 of the Police Act.
I need to read it verbatim because I don't know.
No, in verbatim is fine. It's fine.
Yeah, I need to see it because I don't want to quote something wrong. Section 5. What does it remind me? I will then take it from there.
Let me say this to you. You cannot take any directive from a lower level. You can't take an instruction from a brigadier or from a sergeant as a matter of fact. As you said yourself now, that you are senior. But we are saying to us that a brigadier, in fact, even a colonel can give you instructions and say, NASCOM has said that has to happen. For instance, if a brigadier says to you, NASCOM say you must define crime intelligence today, are you going to verify that or are you going to take that instruction?
No, like once a letter of this nature comes from the Chief of Staff of the Office of the National Commissioner, it is an instruction. If a letter comes from Major General Sebola of the National Commissioner's Office, it is an instruction. And if you are not clear about it, or the instruction is somehow illegal or contradictory or concerning, it is my duty now to go and verify with the National Commissioner, because, or I will tell the National Commissioner that NASCOM, I received this document, but do you know the consequences of this, or are you sure this is what you want us to really communicate? Because I know of 1, 2, 3, 4, and this may result into 1, 2, 3, 4. You will say, oh, I think maybe let's put it this way. It's when you think there is a situation.
So according to you, you don't have to sign a letter, even if it's a matter of national importance. As long as it comes from that office, without verification, you can carry those orders.
You can. If it's lawful, you can.
Thank you. Now, once you were with the municipality, the competency of the vetting, where does that fall to?
It falls with the SSA.
Why when you were the head, you said that this, you were cleared by the municipality security head, the vetting?
Just
in the city of Johannesburg.
Honorable Member, you asked me a question and said the security competency, where does it fall? And I said SSA.
Yes.
And you're asking a question that I think is unrelated a little bit to that what you just asked. I want to understand that question.
You know why I'm asking? When you were at the city of Johannesburg, who vetted you?
SSA.
SSA. So the municipality did not vet you.
The municipality don't have a vetting system in place. I introduced a system whereby all the senior managers of the city must be vetted.
By who?
SSA.
Thank you. Now, let's come to this, General. Intelligence-driven operations and serious targets are kept safe and no need to write the diaries every day, am I right?
No, it's nothing like that.
Tell us, how does it work?
When you work and you open a docket, it's your job to update your SAP 5, your everything that you do, you write in your pocket book or in your diary and you update the docket.
Intelligence inquiries dockets are registered to run. The main dockets can be updated only when new information emerges from inquiries or during arrest, am I right?
Repeat that, sir.
Dockets can be updated only when there's new information emerging from inquiries.
No.
No, it should not happen like that.
No. Every day, every now and then, you in your docket, you will write a brought forward date. In other words, every 14 days, you must give feedback to the complainant, but no docket should lie around for more than 3 years. Every 14 days, a docket must receive attention, if you have many.
Now, on the 121 or 118, whatever the number is, you distance yourself from doggets, am I right?
Yes.
You never gave any instruction for those doggets to come to whether to your office or to the office of General Kumalo.
I wrote a letter that says they must be taken to where they belong,
Where do they belong?
murder and robbery unit.
So it was wrong for those doggets to agree for those doggets to be removed from where they were supposed to be initially.
No, it was not wrong.
So they did the right thing by removing those doggets and bring them to the office where you said you don't have a safe, you don't have anything. Those doggets gathered dust, and you are not part of it at all.
Remember, the instruction was to have them withdrawn there where they were, to be taken to the relevant office, which is the murder and robbery unit. In other words, from a task team that has been directed to disband to the murder and robbery unit, as even presented by the same team in Parliament and in the very next day in terms of their action plan.
But you said that the task team is not disbanded, am I right? It's still on. It's still going on.
Yes.
Now, why are you saying they were supposed to be taken to another unit?
They were, because remember the whole agreement was that they must disband. But I mean, if they stubbornly refuse to disband, there's nothing one can do.
Is it the responsibility of General Kumalo to keep those doggets?
He was the project manager.
Now, National Commissioner praised General Kumalo, and yesterday you said, in your own word, that he doesn't have the experience, he doesn't have the knowledge. Are you contradicting what National Commissioner has told honorable members and the nation?
If General Kumalo can put an investigation of crime certificate in front of this committee, I will withdraw my words. But if he doesn't have one, it's not an investigator.
Yeah, but my question is, are you contradicting the National Commissioner when he was praising General Kumalo? You are saying the National Commissioner is wrong.
Well, the National Commissioner believes so much in General Kumalo, and what the National Commissioner said is what he said, what I'm not saying.
Yeah, but remember, you are the deputy commissioner. My question is, you don't agree with the National Commissioner in the respect of the competency of General Kumalo. We are questioning his credentials.
No, I say he does not have investigation, and I also said he has done a good job. I've never said he didn't do a good job, but the bottom line is I'm saying he does not have investigation as training.
General, yesterday you stated many issues here with us when the evidence leader was questioning you. Page 9, paragraph 28 of your core bundle, that when Masemula, as an accounting officer of South African Police Service, asked the Minister Mkhunu to provide reason for his decision to disband PKTT, on the 6th of March, he failed to provide reasons for his decision. In your opinion, do you think it is acceptable for a leader to take such a crucial decision in absence of any stated justification?
Chair, I want to understand where you are coming from. I understand the question so that I can respond. I heard what you say, but I'm trying to make sense out of how you're putting it, or to connect it. So please repeat the question for me.
In page 9 of your bundle,
Yes.
paragraph 28.
Page
28.
Page 28. I'm at page 28, paragraph.
No, page 9, page 20, I mean paragraph 28, page 9, paragraph 28. There's many bundles anyway, so. as many documents, but on your own bundle.
Paragraph 9, page 9 of my bundle. It doesn't have page 28.
You're not saying page 28. I'm saying paragraph 28.
Don't have in page 9. It doesn't have. Let me see. Let me go.
Look at 12 and then check on 28.
Yes, page 12.
Yeah. So the question, let me rephrase it for you to make things easier. General, you stated on that paragraph 28, on your core bundle, when Masemula, as an accounting officer, asked Mkhunu to provide reason for his decision to disband PKTT. On the 6th of March, he failed to provide reasons for his decision. In your opinion, I'm just saying in your opinion, let me finish. In your opinion, do you think it is acceptable for a leader to take such a crucial decision in the absence of any justification?
Chair, just a second, Chair. The honorable member is referring me to page 12.
Yes.
Paragraph 28.
Yes.
Can I read it?
No,
because when I look at it, it's not what the honorable member is talking about.
Yeah, the evidence leader will help us on that. But why is he doing that? We'll come back to that. Do you think that Minister Mkhunu justification that the task team was established because of an executive decision? Therefore, an executive decision is all that is needed to disband it as a matter of justification to disband the task team.
I would like to leave that response to the National Commissioner, to the Minister.
To the Minister. Does this not create a dangerous precedent, allowing the executive to informally or casually make a withdrawal decision in the absence of justification, in your view?
That question I would like to leave to the Minister.
Okay. During your teenager as the acting national commissioner, you stated in your witness statement that Ms. Vusimuzi Matlala visited you to complain about a tender awarded to him. And you indicated that you will discuss the matter with the national commissioner upon his return. Why did you deem it necessary to wait for the national commissioner's return before addressing the matter?
Because it was beyond me.
This time it was beyond you.
Yes.
But remember, on that issue of disbandment, you said, as I said to you earlier, you took a letter from Brigadier Litoke, am I right? Litoko. You took that instruction, am I right?
Correct.
Without verification, am I right?
Correct.
Now, on this one, why you wanted the National Commissioner to give you an approval? Because you were acting National Commissioner.
These are two separate things.
And I know that, but what I'm saying, why do you have on Vusimuzi in particular, but on the matter of national interest, the matter of disbanding, you did not do that?
These are two separate things, completely altogether. The National Commissioner's Office and the communication within the police, this is how it works. Vusimuzi Matlala is not a police official. It's not the top structure of the police. She doesn't have a staff officer that I must listen to. Now, in other words, if you are a minister in the South African Police Service or any minister for any department, you have staff that reports to your office. And that staff, including your PA, is entitled or is empowered or is delegated to write letters on your behalf. And those letters are deemed to be coming from you.
Now, I'm going to sit on that. You chose to act on a directive given by Brigadier Litoko without a consultation with the National Co-Commissioner by virtue of an email, which was an email we know. Do you think that was appropriate to do? I'm still asking again. I want you, because you're under oath, to say yes.
Very much appropriate, and this is the standard practice. This is how everybody works in the department, and this is the order of the day. And even the National Commissioner confirmed himself that he did give that instruction to Brigadier Letoko to write that email.
So you say it's a standard practice in your office for decision of a considerable importance to be taken or communicated by junior staff members?
In the organization.
That's what I'm saying. Are you saying that to us?
It is.
Specifically, it's appropriate for such communication as demonstrated on SB3 of an annexure which your witness statement to be signed off by a junior staff in your office without your own signature. That's how you run the affairs in your office.
Yes.
Leadership failure or disconnecting incinerating officials, in my view. But I will paraphrase for you, General. It seems that there's a lot of matters where you are in this agreement with the assertion made by General Mkhwanazi, as shown in your submission before this committee yesterday. I want to ask you, on the 6th of July, in his media briefing, Mkhwanazi said there are criminal syndicates that have infiltrated law enforcement. Do you agree with him? If you do, please tell us why. And if you don't, please tell us why.
I will never deny that there are criminal syndicates that are infiltrated the police or criminal justice system. It happens on a daily basis in all the provinces, including in KZN, where he is. You do have those people that are connected to the police, that are connected to the prosecutors, that are connected to lawyers, and sometimes they may not be criminals per se, but at the ultimate end, you find that they're involved in criminal activity. But this thing is not unique to Gauteng.
Will you then agree that it presents a serious concern when high-ranking officials within SAPS hold conflicting views on the state of law enforcement in this country, and that disconnect and undermines cohesion, public confidence, and the integrity of our law enforcement?
Agreed.
Do you agree?
Yes.
General, let me come to the issue as well, which you are being accused of for many years. When Senzo Meyiwa was killed, did you went to the scene?
I'm actually happy that I'm being asked on the issue of Senzo Meyiwa, and it's an issue that I wish I could spend time on it to clarify, so that finally South Africans can get to hear the truth. And allow me, Chair, to deal with this Senzo Meyiwa issue. When Senzo Meyiwa, after Senzo Meyiwa was killed, I was the head of the Hawks in Gauteng. I was at home in Pretoria. I got a call from the acting provincial commissioner, who was General Musikiri at that time. I was at home at night. I didn't even know about the shooting. And it was around about 11 at night. And remember, Senzo was killed after 7:30, around about 7:30, early evening. And what I had to do as the head of the Hawks was to call a team to say, let's meet there. It's just like when a serious crime has been committed, we move, we go there. And what happened there is that as we moved, all of us, we got there. I ran straight to hospital. And simply because of the fact Senzo Meyiwa is a national key point. It's a national asset. It's not ordinary member where someone can say someone has been gunned out, then as the head of the house, I'll also go there. But because it was a national goalkeeper, we all had to react, and we went. even General Musikidi, who was the acting provincial commissioner, we all went and we met at the police station, at the hospital. When I got to the hospital, it was packed, even in the passage, even in the ward where he was lying motionless. And everybody was crying there. Even myself, I could not make my way through into the ward. I saw him lying inside there, but from outside the ward. And then I realized that it won't work. I then said to General Musikidi, I will go to the house where now the investigation must start, because now the investigation process had to start. Now, for the investigation process to start, we then had to go to the scene of crime. When we get to the house where it happened, it was packed. Outside the yard, inside the yard, there was up and down movement in the house. I'm well trained when it comes to investigations. I'm 37 years doing what I'm doing. The very first thing is to take charge of the scene of crime. Mine was to give instructions and say, please, secure the scene, preserve the scene. This is a scene of crime. Now, the team had to make sure that they remove everybody on site to outside the yard so that it can be cordoned. The scene of crime can be cordoned. Remember, I arrived late at night when this thing happened, almost after 7:30, and the scene was already processed by the officials. It was processed, cleaned. The experts have done their work. Now, when I arrived there, I also found MEC Sizakele Nkosi Malobane and other generals were there. Now, ours, we come here as a fact-finding team. We come in here, we knock, we sit down in the sitting room. It's clean. There's no blood. There's no spotty that you can see, everything is in place. And then we sit, we listen, we ask questions. What happened? This one explained, this one explained, this one explained, this one explained. This is the normal course of attending to crime scene. The MEC was there also. We were all listening. And then from there, General Musikidi and them came, arrived from hospital to join us. There were other generals, including General Musikidi. We all listened. And thereafter, it was a question of, General, are you taking it or am I taking it? As the Hawks, do I take the matter to run with or are you taking it? Then she said to me, the National Commissioner, who was Mayor Ria Pierre then, said or suggested that this matter must be investigated by a team of experienced investigators. Now that already took us out of the way. Now we stood by when they made a press conference, a press briefing at that time that says, there will be a team appointed to investigate and will run with this matter. We were standing by, no longer involved in the case. That is why even today, when this matter has been testified, I haven't submitted a statement. I haven't submitted any. Never been called as a witness. It's almost at the end because I was not involved. I've seen messages that says I took $1 million and I did it. I shifted the firearm order. No. At what point would I have done that? So I just wanted to say to South Africans, I am not involved in the Senzo Meyiwa case. I've never done anything wrong. And there have been many teams, more than 10 different teams that were set to investigate this thing. I have done nothing that can actually cause the matter to be, not to be successful.
Thank you, Chair. I'll just give one because there's a warning already there, a red light before my colleagues takes over. The last one from me. Unfortunately, other issues are still under investigation because you said you are like a specialist, an expert when it comes to investigation. Because I don't want to eat time for my colleague. Can you confirm yes or no on the matter that scene was not contaminated by your presence?
Not at all. was never communicated by my presence. When I arrived, it was a done deal already. It was cleared. It was I mean, when you arrive and already it's trampled upon by many people, I was very late when we come there myself.
So were you the first person who arrived at the scene?
Not at all. I came after 12 there, when in fact this thing had happened after 7:30. So logically speaking, how can I be the first person to arrive past 12 when this thing happened at 12:30?
Thank you, Chair.
Honorable Shongwe.
Ndaba, siyabingelela baba. Sawubona. Hey, makumele umuntu akhulume nawe ngathi udla intelezi, amehla vele angaboni indaba. Ngiyifunde. Izolo before ngiqhubeka nje bengifuna ukubuza enye i-clarity seeking question. So bengisaba ukuthi uchair uzodla isikhathi sami ubuya ngishaya uchair yabona. Can you kindly assist me with ubundle le ku page 234 SB 19? Just the first blocks ungifundisa ukuyifunda lapha ya mhlawumbe ungifundele. Ngibuza nje ngoba ngifuna ukufunda indlela ukuyifunda akwangishaya ngesikhathi ngisho timekeeper.
Asambe che.
Yeah. It is station heading, ne?
Yebo.
It is CAS, which is case.
Two double murder, yes.
It description there. It is alleged that the ANC member had a meeting at Ghost Town while driving near Green Water Tank. He was shot 2 times on the head and the neck and succumbed injuries on the scene. There's a ETIO, is that the investigating officer?
Yebo, Chair.
Now, in Klula, outstanding, it analyzed section 205 to place. Can I read the name, Chair? Okay. Analyze section 205 and to place Tembelani Dlamini on the crime scene. It try to identify the suspect. I don't understand the outstanding. Is that outstanding or what? Please clarify this for me.
This is the investigation that needed to be conducted. That is outstanding. And by so saying, Chair, may I be sensitive to the fact that it's very much important. And that is why, Chair, is very dangerous to mention the name, because this Sitla Zigalala does not necessarily mean that it is the current minister or deputy minister. So it's very dangerous to rely on the name that you find here. There are many names that you find that they are equal or they are senior. I mean, they are similar to the name of some of our leaders. And in the meantime, now we begin to target the leader on something that it is not him, it is someone else. So may I request, Chair, that this document be really in the highest sensitivity it deserves, Chair.
All right. Should I continue with it, Chair, or just me?
No, you can continue. The documents have been made available to yourselves, and they are on record. But what the witness is requesting is that you may not read the names because they may be misinterpreted.
Now, as I was asking for clarity, Chair, I was saying, does it mean when you say analyze section 205, does it mean the placing of that suspect, or there's this name your color on this crime scene? And does it also mean try to identify the suspect as that suspect, the Kamel Pelpaluela? Does it mean exactly that, or it means something else?
When you read the docket, which is the double murder, heading double murder, that was registered in 2016 on the 20th of 12. And it gives you the description of the case that this is what is being alleged, that the ANC member had a meeting at Ghost Town while driving near a Green Water Tank, and he was shot 2 times on the head and neck and succumbed to injuries on the scene. Now, here's the investigating officer. Now, here, my main intention was to point out that the last day of investigation of this matter, the last handwriting in the docket was on the 24th of March, 2023. This is the last time this team looked at this docket. So in other words, for almost since 2023, this docket was never looked at. 2 years. It was not open. It's somewhere sitting, gathering dust. Now, the rest, the information that is outstanding in this docket was to analyze the 205s and to place this person on the crime scene. In other words, it's when you apply for the communications from the cell phone providers, the car trackers and everything, and then you analyze that so that you can see that it gives you whether this person was there or not.
No, thank you. So this Sihle Zigalala that is here, was he arrested 2 years ago?
I thought, Chair, we agreed that the names are not
No,
going
you said it's
to be-
not the minister, just this one.
I'm not sure.
Okay.
That's why I say I'm not sure whether he's a minister or
We
not.
may pass. Do you agree with the relationship between Jackie Silibe no Glenn Aglioti made South Africans ukuthi bangawathemba amaphoyisa? And if you do agree, what do you think, or what should South Africans think, or what should they make of your relationship, if you have, between Brown Mokgotsi, who has relations with Kat Matlala?
Well, what I don't know is whether they are criminals or no. Kat Matala, I do know now that he's been arrested, but at that time, no one knew whether he was a... That's why even the police awarded him a tender, because they didn't know, apparently, that he was involved in crime. Even myself, I didn't know if he was in that a criminal. So, since one became aware that the man has been arrested, we cannot now further communicate or associate ourselves with him. But at that time, going backward, we didn't know.
So when I
didn't know him up until he came for the first time to the office.
Okay. Asidlule lapho. Izolo ubufuna i-document yaka public protector, which you say it's the one that clears your name, correct? Do you agree with that document, that letter?
Yes.
Which one is it? Because there's a letter written 18 December, and there's a letter written 8 May 2022. Which letter are you referring to?
Can I be assisted legal with my protector report? Chair, isn't it that when I come now, I don't know which questions to expect, and as a result, the documents I have, but I couldn't bring everything here. So some of the documents, you may find that I don't have them immediately here, but before I leave here, I have them. There should be one here.
I think into ishizolo leyo uyibheka kanjalo le letter wangayiveza uqeda.
Legal team do we have? But safe to say that the public protector mentioned there that was employed by the city of Joburg and everything was procedural and legitimate, and as a result, there was no issue about my appointment.
I think singaxoxa ngayo ngoba uyayazi indlela yokukhuluma ngayo mphathi wami. Now that letter, before I ask you a question on that letter, in the SAPS, when one is subjected for vetting, and should that person fail vetting, do you continue to employ that person?
Is the discretion of the commander or the head to say these skills we need. However, this person did not make it through the vetting department, through vetting. but also depending on the sensitivity of the post that you hold. For an example, there are many members who don't have security clearance. Similar case that then Provincial Commissioner doesn't have. Provincial Commissioner Western Cape doesn't have, but yet they deal with sensitive information.
Because the letter ebhalwe advocate Bosisiwe Mkhwebane, who was then the former public protector, states that at the stage when he was investigating your case and he wrote the letter you are talking about, that clarifies you. He did not have the evidence ephelele. The city of Johannesburg concealed the evidence. Therefore, she came to those findings without this evidence that came there. One, it is the letter that was written by Ubrink speaking about you not passing a competency assessment report. Did you do a competency assessment and did you pass it or you didn't pass it?
I'm not surprised, Honorable, that that letter that come from Advocate Bosisiwe Mkhwebane, but Advocate Bosisiwe Mkhwebane was given all the information that she needed when she investigated, because remember, her team came, not herself. The whole team was sent to investigate, and she conducted an investigation, and she wrote a report. Now, after she was approached again by Mesuli Mlandu, after having been cleared in this report, she wanted to start again, and then we wrote to her and said, but advocate, you cannot review your own report. Then she wrote to the Hawks to investigate. And in the Hawks, I was cleared because the DPP refused to prosecute and said, but there's nothing here. And as a result, there was nothing. But I'm sitting with the report from the public protector that says, and it is important that we find it because it clears me. Now, as to the competency report, assessment, remember that when you get to the competency assessment, it's a document where they say to you, it's an exercise where they say to you, there's no right or wrong answer. This is just to look at your character and whether you are a strong person and which character you are. You don't really even need to spend time on this thing because there's no way you will get this thing right to say you are right or wrong. So I wrote what I wrote, and the result came the way they came and say, you can be suitable here and not here. That is what happened.
Why pass and why fail?
Well, I don't. It doesn't say you failed it like it's a. It's like whether you passed. What do you call it? Let me say it was not positive.
Why pass and why fail?
Okay, let me say I fail.
Okay. 2016 November, you were appointed as a unit head, right?
Yes.
But 2017 July, your job title changes to a HOD.
Yes.
It was converted according to the document of the public protector to an HOD. Did you convert that yourself as it is alleged that you appointed yourself to an HOD?
There's no way you can appoint yourself in a city. In a city is well regulated. The group head forensic investigation service was established by myself. It did not exist. There was GIRAS, which was an internal audit, but I had to start a group function that will take care of the city's properties. And that thing went through the council. They will say the items that were presented before council and council approved.
Okay.
And Chair, there's no way I could be the head of the DPCI and someone like Mesuli Mlandu want to come and tell me that I cannot be the head of a small group forensics within the city. And this was based on the fact that already there were some differences between myself and Mesuli. I do have correspondence here that he wrote himself to. Firstly, he wrote a report regarding suspected clandestine rogue unit, and then he also wrote to the late Jeff Makubu, may his soul rest in peace. Where in this one, that was written on the 20th of September 2019, he says reference is made to my report regarding the above matter, which was received by Mayor's office on 16 September 2019. A meeting with you, Chief Operation Officer, Executive Mayor, and MMC Finance held on 18 September to discuss same. Noting that this meeting confirmed that the officials of GVs traveled to Eastern Cape and purport to be conducting a security vetting with my previous employer, which never materialized. Further noting that the meeting also requested that I should allow that this matter be dealt through internal processes instead of reporting same to the South African Police Intelligence Structures. Request which I acceded to without difficulty. Further note, while such internal processes are being followed, kindly be advised that me and my family must also satisfy ourselves of the nature and extent risk we are exposed to. From the confirmed clandestine and rogue activities of the officials of GVs, this is important in regard is heard that the said officials acted with impunity, disregard the political and administrative authorities of the city, and abuse the resources just to execute an unlawful criminal project of hitting my person, career, and reputation. Further noting that I bear the responsibility to assess such risk of my person, career, and reputation, and such is urgent that I should mitigate and protect myself and my family from the potential adverse consequences of the clandestine, illegal, and rogue activities. Also noting that covert operations are generally life-threatening, your office is requested to cause these officials to write Son's affidavit and detail the following: the person who authorized their clandestine illegal rogue activities, the involvement of logistical planning, including their travel arrangement, as well as any other officials, the place these officials visited, people they met, and the role, the information that they have gathered, and source of such information, and how such information has been used. Further noting the agency to mitigate any immediate risk to me and family in Gauteng and Eastern Cape, kindly request. So this is the letter that he wrote when he heard that we are conducting a vetting on everyone. And it was the whole city. It was unfortunately not him alone. And I do have files, Chair, but this matter really, I felt that, quite honestly speaking, it have been dealt with by the public protector. There were Moody and Robinson investigations conducted, and all cleared me. State security investigated, the Hawks cleared me. For this thing, for people to take advantage of the current moment, the current situation, and be throwing this thing again through the back door, that we must re-listen to this thing that were investigated many years ago. To me, I find it really unfortunate, Chair, and I wish I could be protected under such situation, because these matters were investigated, closed. And if they were investigated and closed, why bring them here? It's all I'm asking, because the context within which General Mkhwanazi was making his press conference was on terms of political interference was based on the 121 dockets and the disbandment. Now we find ourselves dating back 5 years ago, former Minister Mthethwa, the late 2011, which I find unfortunate. Now this thing is being reversed again through the back door again. I don't think we should allow that, Chair. But not that I'm here to tell the Chair and the committee members that what to ask or what not to ask. I was just raising a concern that personally I feel that they're throwing it through the back door.
Angithi babu Sibiya mfokandaba indaba isekuthenini kuthiwa ama politicians and senior officials of certain positions benza izinto engaqondile ukuvikelana. So yingakho le matter ibuyile. So ngicela ngakuphathi kabi lokho. Ngoba the same letter wenothe uthembele kuyona yaka public protector. It's the same public protector that says iCity of Johannesburg yafihla i-evidence kwi-team yakhe ekuthenini kuze afikelele kulesa sinqumo asithathile. So uphinde uyabhala futhi in this one. That's why ke ekugcineni athi we are at liberty to confirm that information revealed by Mr. Brink above, in particular the competency assessment report of Mr. Sibiya and the non-approval of the municipal council. Can I ask ukuthi when that matter yakho yokushintsha position and the grading of his salary from 1.2 million to 1.8, who was supposed to report that matter to your council?
It was the city manager, and all the processes were followed. It went through council, and council approved. So it was not a private deal somewhere in an office.
So it's not correct what the public protector is saying here, Wuti. However, this was not reported to the municipal council.
No, it was reported to the municipal council.
And who was the mayor at that time? From which party, if I may
I
ask?
think it's former Mayor Herman Mashaba.
He has never said anything to you about this matter of you being put to, of the grading of your salary from 1.2 to 1.8. Are you also saying he's the one who appointed you or the municipal manager at that time?
This is the municipality that appointed me. The same applies to the same Mesuli Mlandu himself, the same process that was followed to have man promoted or increased. His salary, his own salary was increased drastically from where it was to where it is now. So it's the same process.
Are you aware that the public protector in his resolution said they must open a case against this issue?
Which she did.
And what happened to the case?
They investigated and the DPP declined to prosecute.
No, thank you. General Mkhwanazi said you procured prohibited equipment in the city of Johannesburg with the assistance of Paul O'Sullivan. And we have seen a letter from the State Security Agency confirming paragraph 4 that you bought equipment. Can you confirm that?
General Mkhwanazi ukhuluma into angazazi nje. There's nothing like that. That what General Mkhwanazi is talking about is in his own head, in his own mind. Ayikho leyo nto.
Le equipment ekhulunywa ngayo la kazi wayithenga wena for
I did explain, Chair, that if you are the head of department of a city, world-class city, and you say we need to create an office that will carry the office, that where we need to build a war room that is strong, and then you let the IT people sit together in a room in consultation with SSA and say we want to build capacity that will be able to carry the city, so that when we are sitting here, we know that we are able to trace as to how many buildings are hijacked. In the city of Joburg, you do find a situation where you find that they buy tires, but they buy tires every day. There's a car that keeps on replacing tires. Almost in a month, they will replace tires twice in a month, which means they steal tires. There's a car that continue keeping on pouring petrol 2 times, 3 times in a day, which means they steal petrol. Now, you need a system that is able to actually gather such type of information and be able to give you a picture. You need a system that will tell you that how many syndicates are operating within revenue services. There are people who are milling around revenue services when people are coming to pay electricity at the revenue services. You have people who says, let me help you jump the queue. and they will go take the money and go as if they are going to pay for you, and then the system will be updated, but people will share money. Now, you need to create systems in such a way that from the war room, you are able to know where is the city losing more money of all these departments. You need to have a system where you know that we have a database of all the cases that are reported, and to be able to track them and to be able to do the linkages and to be able to see whether there are officials that are working with outside people or not. So to have an information management center is the only way to be able to run the affairs of the city. This is technology. Today we are living in the fourth and fifth industrial revolution. You cannot depend on paperwork that is not able to assist you. So having bought that, I was not the one even who said in the meeting or nor who designed those whatever equipment that was said, because I didn't know them. The team that we employed mostly teams that come from state security, crime intelligence, police. Now these are the people who sat and say, we think we need a camera, this camera that we're going to use when we shoot the videos or the TVs for hijacked properties or during the operations. So it is things like those. There was no grabber because the main bone of contention was apparently I bought a grabber. Now, the state security said there's no grabber, and there is no grabber. And at the same time, if you remember Al Jamaa, they also made such a statement that says, when you walk past me, I undress you. Because as you walk past me, my system that I have undresses you, takes all the information from your phone. I went to court, and the court ruled in my favor. It's just that they keep on recirculating the same lies. This is what we are sitting with even today. There's no grabber that I ever procured. He even go to an extent of saying, when I was the head of the Hawks, I procured something like a grabber. Being the head of the Hawks, there was General Dramat, and where was he at that time? No. There's no grabber that I procured. I don't have such a grabber. Some of these statements are just malicious.
Impendulo yakho baba uSibiya iyangidida kancane because ifana nale yayizolo yaka Khet Matlala ukuthi uyamazi uKhet Matlala bese ubuye uthi umazi 5 times ngama phone calls ayi5 uphinde khona la uphendule khona nabebuza ukuthi elisikisiki wayekhona na. Your answer said wayengekho. So if you say that means uyamazi umuntu sheshe umbone. Like if somebody can ask me ukuthi ukhona baba Mkhwanazi, I will tell you akekho because sengiyamazi. So umbuzo wami ngicela uphendule nje mhlawumbe ngendlela ethe ukungisiza ukuthi le equipment othi Mkhwanazi ukhuluma into engayazi ikhona yini yathenga?
No, ayikho, akazithengwa futhi.
So akuna Paul Sullivan owakusiza ukuthenga equipment?
No.
I-relationship yakho no Paul Sullivan injani?
Paul Sullivan, I know him very well. I've been operating in Gauteng for many years, and then he's one of the active role players in terms of crime fighting. He reports crime, people report to him, he reports to the police, and look, Paul Sullivan contacts everybody. Even if you are the National Commissioner, you will get an email from Paul Sullivan. He's not my friend. I've never been to his house. He's never been to my house. I've never gone to a restaurant with Paul Sullivan where we sat and we drank tea or coffee. What Paul Sullivan is all about is that he's a forensics expert. He receives many information that he processes and even relay to the police. Just like your Mike Paul Hayes, your Thomas Chat, these are the people that are active in the crime fighting system. They are there. You can't avoid them, and you can't wish them away.
No, thank you. SAPS is instruction based. Give instruction, conjure instruction. As Mozo Yagu course, you get a call-up instruction.
Yes.
Do we agree?
Yes.
So in this regard, you say a team came to take pictures and they were denied. Then again, National Commissioner gave instruction. Ukuthi uMutsepe alokho nje abavumele bashute lapho, but uMutsepe didn't take that instruction. In fact, I want to know where does she get the protocol yakamzipa ngimazi irank yakhe ngikalungi irank yakhe. Protocol ithini ngomzipe if ukuthi National Commissioner gives the instruction bese angayithathi. Is that correct?
May I leave that for her to come and respond to that, Chair?
But ngizwe kuwe mina.
Yes,
Kumele kwaleyo ishiye kuya azoyixoxa.
sengiphendula ngaleyo ndlela.
Uyayishintsha.
Angishintshi, ngithi let her come and explain that part.
All right. No, ngiyabonga kakhulu lapho. Ngicela sibonisane lapho. Because nginenkinga yokuthi masophendulana kanjalo sizosalela emuva mntakaba. We SAPS sinayo lento ekuthiwa intelligence. And where is it sitting?
Intelligence is sitting in many offices.
Is it under the office of the president still?
No, there's different type of intelligence. There's crime intelligence of the police. There is senior state security that is taking care of both international and local.
And which one when le otayi kora isebenzi?
One that I say is weak is the one of South African Police Service.
Lastly, what is your take, or would you agree with General Mkwanazi when he says PKTT deserves to be awarded for their good job they did? Do you think the PKTT did a good job? And would you agree on them getting awarded for what they did? As I close, do you also have any relationship with any member of the ad hoc committee? Thank you.
The PKTT members, personally, firstly, I don't know if they haven't been rewarded because there have been many excellence awards, whether they have been rewarded at any stage. They must have been. And they are part of the team that I believe that in many instances they have done a good job. They must be rewarded if ever they haven't been rewarded. It's something that I cannot say they didn't do a good job. Not necessarily mean that throughout the country they did a good job. But the problem is, if you did a good job in Gauteng, well, let's say in KZN alone, you can award them in KZN. In KZN, yes, you can award them. But whether they did a good job in the whole country, they were not there everywhere. When you look at Lusikisiki, it's Lusikisiki 18. They were rewarded because of only Lusikisiki. But even if they did a good job when it comes to whatever matter they dealt with, and the commander feels that they need to be rewarded, submit paperwork and they will be rewarded.
Shay didn't finish the question.
Do you want to make a follow-up, honorable
No.
member?
Still the very same question, which doesn't know any member of the ad hoc committee. And I think I was not answered in the question of Brown and Lusikisiki, which, as you said, you don't know him. Yes.
Pran Mokgotsi, I said it, I think, Chair, even yesterday, that I know Brown from the time he contacted me. I didn't know him. The very first time I got to meet Brown is when on January 8, he called and said, I'm going to General 8, are you going to be there? I said, yes, I'm here on operations. We are working here in Western Cape. He said, I'll come and greet you. That's exactly what happened. And even if you check the footage, you will see. And before that, you can see my phone, you won't find Brown. And then thereafter, I allowed those calls. There were moments where I could have blocked him and stopped communicating him, but when it comes to issues of safety and a person who gives you a lot of information, you let it flow. Any member of the of the ad hoc that I know, I've worked for a very long time with Honorable James. I know her. I've worked for a long time with Honorable Glenis. I've worked with some members I saw in the portfolios where we account. I know the chairperson for portfolio committee from the portfolio committee, not anywhere else. So these are the only members, Honorable Kola Danabayanat, I know, not personally per se, just official capacities.
I don't mind.
I can only give you the last question.
Sengicela nje ukubuyela encwadini because abantu balambile che yabona. No, but let me finish here. Thanks.
So,
I think we share Sapala. Let me ask you this one. I'm tempted to. General Mkhwanazi says there is buying of Lamborghinis and all that to by intelligence somehow. And you said there's no such. So I want to ask Uguti, in the SAPS in totality, akwenzeki ukuthi uthole ukuthi umuntu uyi-spy uthunywe yini to infiltrate a certain criminal syndicate? Is no such. Is there no such?
A Lamborghini is pushing it too hard. You can't buy something of 5 million because you want to infiltrate somebody. You can always do it cheaper. But you will never go buy a Lamborghini because you want to infiltrate someone.
Yes, so, but there is such a doing. It matters in terms of the budget. So it can be done.
Even if let's say you want to run a covert operation, we have well-trained undercover operators that can infiltrate that space. And let's say, for instance, they are dealing with a syndicate, a group of syndicate, a big one, and where you have to appear as a rich person who is actually living that lifestyle. They will make sure that you get that car, not necessarily that it is procured, but they'll organize that car and then you will use that car for that time being for you to be able to operate. But what I wanted to say, Chair, I don't want to sit here and expose how the police operate in some of the operations, because you are leading me into, Chair, you are leading me into a situation where I'm going to be accused tomorrow and say, he did the following.
No, ngiyabonga mfowanda bengiphendulile bengicabanga nje ukuthi ungazi ukuthi ikhona lento ayishilo noma yikho, so uthe ikhona, just depends on the matter of value that will tell us. Siyabonga mfowanda.
But General, are you saying that in a corrupt environment, officials may not use state money to buy themselves the vehicles that he talks about? In an environment where corruption is pervasive, is there no possibility that the money can be siphoned to acquire such or vehicles of that value?
No, Chair. You can't, unless, I mean, we're working with the public's money, public's fund here. You can't really nilly-willy just spend millions because you want to investigate a certain crime. You can investigate crime.
Not for purpose of investigation, right. for self-aggrandizement.
And I buy a Lamborghini.
Yes, you have access to this purse. There is no monitoring. You have become a law unto yourself. It's not only the vehicles, Honorable Shongwe, he also spoke about people who have acquired farms
And buildings.
and buildings.
Yeah, that's correct.
So you may have a building that is higher than that vehicle in value,
Yes, Chair.
and the state money has been used.
Yes, Chair.
So that is why I'm asking you, because this is part of our probe, the extent of, okay, I must not say that, the extent of, how corrupt activities have been entrenched. Because he says police officials do this and that, and you say, no, we can't, in terms of our operations, if they are covered, we can't buy vehicles of that value. And I'm asking you, in an environment where corrupt activities have become pervasive, is it possible that state money can be used for personal use, where a person can take it and go and buy himself or herself a vehicle of the value that, I don't want to advertise that vehicle.
It shouldn't be, Chair, and it shouldn't be allowed. Because to start with, there's a way of procuring such a car in such a way that it cannot be traced back to you. And therefore, it is not even known in the system. And what you do with that car at the ultimate end may not be known by anybody.
But that other properties have been acquired. Have you heard about that, or do you know about that?
I saw it in the papers. I heard about it, but I don't know the detailed facts of it. Quite honestly speaking, I just see it from a distance, even myself.
And as part of the senior leadership of the police service, when you saw that reports, did it shake you, or you just said, I know, this is what we are used to?
Things were reported, but as far as I'm concerned, I'm very happy when things get reported to the platform or forum where they belong. And they were reported to the IG, and the IG conducted the investigation and dived deeper in investigation, consulting with the IDEC or NPA, and they came around a decision whether to prosecute or not.
Okay.
But none of us were involved in the process.
Let's leave it that. Thank you so much, General, and I want to thank you, honorable members. Honorable Adams, we have made it a practice that when we have an honorable member in our proceedings, we introduce them for the public to know that members of parliament also take interest in the work that we are doing. So I take this opportunity to formally introduce you, that you have joined our proceedings today.
Thank you, Chair. I thought I was in trouble again. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Honorable members, it's that time when we should break. We are coming back at 10 minutes after 14 hours. The Honorable Nomvalo, we have alerted you about his health issues. So when we come back, I'm going to request honorable members to allow him to get through with his questions. And then we will then move to the Democratic Alliance. Yes, let's accept it. It's only for today, Honorable Breitenbach. I have given you the break, honorable members.